If you're looking for a stress-free way to make a dinner that feels fancy but doesn't involve spending hours in the kitchen, I've got you covered. Today, in honor of Valentine's Day next week, I am sharing one of my favorite recipes from America's Test Kitchen's cookbook, Slow Cooker Revolution. It is a creamy chicken and mushroom sauce that is as easy as it is elegant. And for a bonus, there's no browning, there's no sautéing, there's no having to get multiple dishes out. Just set it and forget it in your slow cooker. Plus, I've got a fun little dessert hack that will elevate your store-bought cookies in no time. I'm Larissa, and this is the Concussion Crew, where we share tips and tricks and recipes that make life a little bit easier. Let's dive in. What I love about this recipe is that it is so simple to pull together. To keep things easy, America's Test Kitchen actually microwaves the aromatics. So what you're going to do is take 2 cups of diced onions, and I use onions from the freezer. And to that, you're going to add 1/2 ounce of dried porcini mushrooms. You're going to rinse those, drain them, and then mince them. Pop them in with the onions. The recipe calls for 6 garlic cloves. I have minced garlic in my refrigerator, and that's what I'm going to use. We use what we have so that we're not wasting time and money and resources buying cloves of garlic when minced garlic would do. And I'm also making it a little bit easier on myself. I don't want to have to peel garlic and deal with that nonsense. So I'm gonna stick with my minced garlic. Add a tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of oil, and 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. If you want to, you can find fresh thyme, but I keep thyme in my cupboard. It is easier for me to just use dry, so you have the option there. America's Test Kitchen specifies olive oil. I don't have olive oil, I have avocado oil, and in the spirit of we use what we have, I'm going to use avocado oil. It takes about 5 minutes for the onions to soften up, and once they are softened, you're going to be stirring occasionally, so you'll see when they have softened, you transfer that whole mixture into your slow cooker. Now that my aromatics are ready, you can see that I'm putting in 1 pound of mushrooms, 1.5 cups of chicken broth, 1/2 cup of dry white wine, so like a Sauvignon Blanc, and the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of minute tapioca. I have tapioca starch at home, so I am going to use that instead of the minute tapioca, which means that I'm going to reduce the amount by 1/2. If you don't have tapioca or tapioca starch around, you could use cornstarch, you could use flour, you could use potato starch. Whatever thickening agent you usually use can be substituted here. I seasoned my chicken with salt and pepper, and I'm nestling it into the slow cooker. Now that everything is in my slow cooker, I'm going to leave it for 6 hours. The recipe says 4 to 6 hours. I like for the chicken to just fall apart, so I'm going to leave it for 6 hours. Now that the 6 hours is up, I'm going to take out the chicken, and I'm going to let the chicken cool slightly, and I'm going to let the sauce settle for about 5 minutes. Now that you can see the fat on the top of the sauce, I'm going to remove that with a spoon, and then I'm going to put the chicken back in after shredding it, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of heavy cooking cream. I'm going to stir that all together and then leave it for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to stir in 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Trust me, this dish is a showstopper. The creamy mushroom sauce makes it feel like you put in hours worth of work, but only you will know how simple it was. If you're serving this as kind of a fancier dinner, adding a little parsley or some shaved Parmesan can really take it to the next level. If baking isn't your thing, or if you are just not up to it right now, this hack is for you. Grab a package of these store-bought soft sugar cookies. You're going to use a small round cookie cutter to trim them into perfect circles. You're going to stack 2 of the cookies together with a little bit of the icing in between. You just want to make sure that they stick while you're working with them. Top the stack with a little more icing. You can add some festive sprinkles or a heart, and boom, you've got a dessert that looks homemade and is totally Instagram worthy. So there you have it, a simple, elegant Valentine's Day dinner that is practically effortless. Whether you are celebrating with a special someone or just treating yourself, this recipe paired with the dessert hack is going to make your evening feel special. If you do try this recipe, I'd love to hear how it turns out. So make sure you drop a comment below. And if you'd like to learn more easy recipes, make sure that you subscribe. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I will see you next time. And remember that you are not alone in wanting something fancy once in a while.